Get off the couch.
You don't look very good.
Sometimes I'm shocked that I got family members that don't subscribe. That's terrible. Don't subscribe so that I feel like at least the next video that goes out, someone's watching it.
I'm gonna give her a yank. Let's see if she comes out.
The coyote, she running smooth. Hey, it's cruise night. Let's go over and have a peek. It's a wonder what an oil change will do. It's, you know, right? I don't want to talk about how often I change the oil or anything like that, you know. Well, hello there, and welcome to the Scottish version of Tin Horse Restorations. I hope you're joining me because you've got your kilt on and you really enjoy, you know, watching muscle cars. Do you like muscle cars? You know, I've been told that I have to, you know, broaden my horizons and you know, extend things to a larger audience. And I thought maybe, you know, I've got, maybe I'll get lucky and I'll get a few European, you know, people watching if I talk in native tongue. Do you know what I mean? Does that make any sense? Oh, look at that. That's a Mustang going down there. Can you hear it? Oh, that's a beauty. Oh, that's a bra horse there. I'll tell you. There's a few ponies under that hood. Aye, they're right. Okay. All right. So maybe that wasn't, you know, the greatest. Anyway. People ask me, Colin, where'd you get that Scottish accent? And I said, well, because I was born there, you know, but I'm trying to think, like, what's the vocabulary of a 3-year-old? You know, how come that thing stuck with me all these years? I think I grew up around it or something. You know. Anyway, welcome to Tin Horse Restorations. If you have no clue what I said there, then good. Good for you. And you know, I just want to say, I was born in the Scottish Lowlands. You know, I come from an area that was well known for William Wallace. He was a brave man, that man, I'll tell you. Brave man. And sometimes, you know, I think, wow, I look at that parts car and I think, I am a brave man. What the hell was I thinking? Anyway, welcome to episode 6 of Tin Horse. You know, if you've stuck with me this long, either you got nothing better to do in your life, or for some silly reason you find me entertaining. Anyway, I'd like to thank, I want to take this, you know, before I go on one of my crazy rants or something, I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody who's shown support so far. Honestly, I'm humbled. I've been overwhelmed. The positive comments that have come in have just been amazing, and I really, you know, in my heart, I appreciate it. I really do. You know, I think my family thought I was a little crazy when I started to do this, and I think I've won over 1 or 2 people. I really think I have. So you know, there's been some rough moments, and certainly episode 5 was difficult to patch together with 2.5-year-old video that was so poorly shot. And again, you have my apologies, but you know what's important here is the story, and to get the story across to you. And you know, it's I think my son said it a couple episodes ago, and it's going to become the new mantra for this channel is we're making memories. And I'm gonna just touch on something that because I'm gonna do this quite often. I'm gonna touch on things that I see and read and notice on Facebook. And yesterday on my Facebook, a little blurb popped up about I don't know why I get it. I wasn't friends with anybody on there, but there was a thing. It was a guy who had bought a car, muscle car at a dealership over 50 years ago, and he just had the car restored and had returned to the dealership to get his picture taken with the dealership owner or whatever, and bragging about his car. And they instead of going into the history of the car and everything else, there goes that Mustang again. Whoa, that guy's just hammering it this morning. Anyway, I'm in Brampton. It's my day to go to the warehouse early in the morning. We rotate those days around. So I'm in lovely Brampton, and crazy drivers abound everywhere. It's rush hour traffic, and these people have all lost their minds. I swear. But anyway, this story's running yesterday. I'm reading it, and all he talks, the entire story was about how this car was one of, like a handful that was made this way, and that he had restored it perfectly to its thing, original glory, and how proud he was of it because it was one of, two or something like that. And then he did the proverbial, the only other little tidbit that he added in there was matching numbers. Matching numbers? Really? Wow. That's after owning a car for 50 something years. That's your claim to fame. Oh wait, wait a wee minute. I'm at my Tim Hortons. I gotta have my blueberry muffin. What kind of day would it be without it?
Hello.
Morning.
Good morning. 465.
Oh, like I'm fumbling for my card this morning. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. You girls have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just love spreading joy in the morning, I'm telling you. Okay. So, okay, where was I? I was gonna, oh dear, here we go. Wait, here it comes. Okay. So anyway, there he is, right? And he's talking about matching numbers and how, and that's all there's nothing else in the story. Nothing. The guy looks like he's 85. He's got a cane and everything, and and there's nothing else in the story. There's no, I don't even know what color the interior is. There's just a picture of him standing in front of the car. I'm like, what is this, an ad for selling it? I don't understand. Barrett Jackson, here I come. Six figures, here we go. Like, really? Sometimes I just don't understand this culture. I don't understand this muscle car thing. I grew up, I was so fortunate to be in high school in 1978 to 1982. Because the junkyards were full of muscle cars. They're 10 years old in Canada, full of holes, rusted, especially early 70s Fords. Well, we want to talk about that. So, the junkyards were full, just full. I always close the window. I'm leaving it down today because did you hear that Mustang go by earlier? That guy was romping. I'm telling you. I don't want to miss that again if I pass another one. Brampton's full of Mustangs. I was going to ask another question. Anyway, the scrapyards were full, right? So what did I do? What was the mindset and the culture of my parents and the rest of society at that time, right? It was like I could go and get myself a big block 429 or a whatever at the scrapyard. I literally could get one at the scrapyard, and by 1982, people realized that those things may have value one day. But to be honest, those cars, like, they were getting crushed on a daily basis. And it was because no one ever thought they were going to be worth, $250,000 one day. People act right now like they've known this since the day they bought the car. Really? If I had been, if me and a bunch of other people had been that smart when we were young, I'd be a rich man today. I'm telling you. I had friggin' 8 Mach 1s at one time, parts cars. I had them all sitting there. I would kill to have those 8 cars back right now. I'm telling you. I'm sure a couple of them were pretty rare. Fully loaded with tacks and center console gauges, and I think I wrote off a couple of 4-bolt mains. I'm telling you, I was like, 4-bolt mains. I'm not building that much horsepower, And to be honest, on the Clevelands, the 2 bolts are, you can make a nasty beast out of a 2V head 2-bolt Cleveland, especially nowadays. So, and who would have thunk that advancements would have been made and people with, fuel injection and Holley snipers and all these things that you can add on. No one knew that was going to happen. Nobody. What's a coyote? If you had told me in 1978 that Ford was going to invent this thing called a coyote with overhead cams and was going to pump out, 800 horsepower, I'd have looked at you sideways and went, what's wrong with you? That's 800 horsepower. Do you know what we had to do back in the day to get anywhere close to that? It was like craziness. You had to go to the airport and buy jet fuel. Anyway, what I'm saying is that, what we did was we took what we could afford. We went to the scrapyard, we picked up what we could afford, and it just happened to turn into something, magical. We're so lucky to have grown up in that time and to have taken advantage of our situation. It basically was just right place at the right time, And what did people do? People exploited that. Along comes Barrett Jackson and puts this auction on and it's all about pushing those magic lines, right? Like magic numbers and originality and all the, for what? For what? So that you can turn around to your rich buddy and say, my car's better than your car, the car that I paid somebody else to fix, and it's rarer than yours, and I have a lower number than you on my Shelby, and my Shelby was a Hertz rent-a-car when when it first came out. It's rare. There was only so many of those men. Oh, please. That has nothing to do with car culture. That has nothing to do with turning a wrench. And that has nothing to do with the passion that most of us had, the average person. There's no passion there. It's just dollar signs in your eyeballs. You're so blinded by it, you can't see. Oh, I'm getting mad again. Wait. I'm gonna tell a little story here, and this'll sum it up for you. 1999, I paid $5,000 for Marvin. Honestly, I had to get the appraisal done so that I could get the collector car insurance. And the guy came over and he says, "Oh, it's a driver." Okay, so it's a driver. It's going to be with me for the rest of my life. And it's mine, and it's an extension of my personality. It's a car I love, and I like the way it looks, and I worry about how far the tires come out and how wide they are and how low it sets and how high up it is in the back end, and all those little tiny things that are really, really important to me are because that is an extension of who I am. That is my way of expressing my emotions and my feelings through an automobile. And I build it that way. It's important to me. It's a bond that I share with that car. I remember a story a long time ago. I'm way off on a tangent now. I remember a story a long time ago where I forget which pope it was. But I remember the Pope made a comment that he said, cars have souls. I think he was hanging out with Enzo Ferrari a little too much, but that's something Enzo would say. But speaking of Ferrari, Did you watch Ford versus Ferrari? What a brilliant movie. It was the greatest racing moment in Ford's history captured in film, and they did such a great job. Christian Bale's brilliant in that film. And at any time in the entire movie did they talk about the number of the Shelbys that they were racing, or the GT40s they were. What number car was that? I'm sure there's somebody someplace who's like at home trying to figure out which car number that one was. Really, no. It's the memory. It's the story. It's what those cars did. Those cars had a life, and they expressed themselves through the greatest thing that a car can do is win a race. It's a moment in time. It's I bought my let's go back to Marvin. I bought it in 1999. My daughter chokes me up. My daughter said to me, give me a second. My daughter said to me, "Dad, when you pass, can I have Marvin?" And I said to her, "Why? Why? Why do you want Marvin?" And she says, "There's so many memories of that car. And memories of my mom." Okay, that's enough of that. We'll be talking about that today. I took that thing to sporting events and tournaments and give me a minute. Hang on a second. Okay, like I was saying, I took the kids everywhere in that car. My son played lacrosse. We went to lacrosse tournaments in that car. Everybody knew the Foresters were coming because here comes little green Marvin, right? So I couldn't care less what. There's 6,200 or something of those made, and out of that, there was 3,800 or some 302s. I that number may be wrong. I don't know. And I've looked it up before. I don't remember. And out of that, how many of them were grabber green and with green interior? What does that matter? That car's part of the family. It's part of our family. So, if you tell me the kids today don't get it, it's because you're one of those idiots that sit around all day trying to figure out how rare your car is. You don't get it. That's the problem. You don't get it. You don't know what it feels like to build the entire car yourself and to make a scrapbook, with all the memories of all the things that car experienced. I've got family pictures there where it's like the car is a person. The whole, I've got one picture of my first 1971 Mustang Fastback with me and Lisa in the picture with the car. It's the only picture I have. That picture brings back so many wonderful memories, and it's not just the car. I'm not a gearhead, who grunts because it's got a lot of horsepower or something. I have a passion. I grew up with those things. They mean something to me. So when I see some kid driving a Honda Civic that he's worked 2 years on and spent every penny, that he has on that car, I don't make fun of him because he's just like me. I understand what he's doing. I make fun of the fact he's driving a Honda Civic. That's what's at the junkyard. That's what's available to him. The problem is that people like us that have a passion for Mustangs or other muscle cars, we don't guide them, and hold their hand and say, listen, have you thought about building a Mustang? They look at that and they go, well, you build a classic Mustang, I can't afford that. What do you think's going to happen 40 years from now when the Honda Civics sell for $250,000 at Barrett Jackson? Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And people are going to look at your old muscle car that you can't get parts for anymore or anything, that probably somebody converted to an electric motor. And they're going to laugh at you. You'll be long gone anyway. It won't matter. You'll be buried in the ground. And your grandkids or your kids, they're not going to give two shits about what happened to that car. Anyway. Okay. I ranted. But anyway, from now on, what do we do on this channel? We make memories. We're not going to look for build cheeks under the seats and you know, and brag about how, you know, this is a great car to build because it's so rare or something. You know, if one more person says to me, why would you waste all your time, money, and effort into building that when you could get yourself something that would be worth twice as much when you're done? What do you hold dear in your life as value? The almighty dollar? Is that the only thing that means anything to you? Because I can tell you what, that 72 Shell and parts car that we're gonna build, it's got memories attached to it already. My son's never gonna forget Father's Day where the truck blew up and then didn't blow up and then stuck at the side of the road and got a $400 towing bill. And okay, enough of that. God, I've gone from Scottish to happy to sad to shut up all in what? 15 minutes? Okay. Episode 6. Thank you again. So glad you're here. I hope I hope something I say, you know, sparks something in you, and I hope you understand a little better what I'm pushing here. I'm selling something. Yeah, I'm selling something. It's called passion. I'm selling passion, and I worry that there's not many people that understand it. That's the problem. But I know somewhere there's a 20-year-old who really doesn't give a shit about my car, who's watching this going, I know exactly what you're saying. And all of a sudden, the 62-year-old man is connected with the 20-year-old. Get it? Do you get it? I hope you do. I really hope you do. And you know that obnoxious ass that... Okay, one last thing. I turned Barry Jackson on this year. So I don't know why I do it. I turned it on, and that, I don't know what his last name is. He's the head ownership guy. I don't know if it's Jackson or Barrett or whatever. And he acts like he's King Charles. He really does. Like, okay, I said the F word. I'm sorry. I'll beep that. Yeah, he acts like he's King Charles. Like, you gotta kiss his hand. Like, what? Are you people all nuts? Are you really all nuts? Don't watch that show anymore. It's stupid. It's a bunch of spoiled little brats, you know, pissing on each other because they think their car's better than somebody else's. Don't watch it. It does nothing for the hobby. You know, if that's your thing, then, you know, stop watching this channel and go and you know, and sit and watch your Barrett Jackson and spend the rest of your life wishing you had some, you know, $450,000 car. Good for you. Really. Good for you. Don't watch me. I have nothing nice to say about that. Nothing. You know, that's something that I you know, we're all entitled to follow whatever we want in the world. It's a free world, and especially here in North America. And if that's your thing, more power to you, right? Just stay the hell away from me. Really. I'm so sick, fed up of obnoxious assholes that oh, I got potty mouth today, don't I? I'm just so sick, fed up with it. I really am. I'm selling passion, all right? I'm selling memories. And I'm selling get off the couch. There you go. That's it. That's what you get when you come here. And don't question it, because it's real. No phony bullshit here. I really feel this way. I'm not doing this for ratings. I'm not. Trust me, there are a lot of people going to tune me out because I've said these things. But I mean it. Okay, episode 6. I was thinking about how I was going to edit these, and I've got a lot of. Oh God, I got a lot of content. Boring stuff filmed. So I'm gonna break. 6 is gonna be cutting the car apart and getting the engine out, and that's what you're gonna see coming up here. And I hate giving hints about 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. I was thinking about 10 last night. 7 might be the end result of tearing the motor down and what we're doing with the training. That might be 10, or that might be 7. Sorry, I know what 10's gonna be. That's not changing. And anyway, next week, Morgan's coming home for 2 weeks in the summer, and Declan's going to be coming with her, and so I'm looking forward to spending a couple of days with Declan working on the car. I think he mentioned last night on a text that he was really looking forward to spending some time and maybe getting on the video. So I'm looking forward to that. He's a very stand-up young man, and I spent a day working on the car with him already and had a lot of fun with it. So that was taking the 3.8 out, and I'll put a picture right here, boom. So that was Declan and me taking the 3.8 out, which I didn't film. And next week he'll be helping me put it back in. So that'll either be 7 or 8. I might switch back to the 95 for 7, just so that we're not on the same car for too much. I'm gonna think of yourself as an Indian rubber ball, a little tiny Indian rubber ball, or a pinball, and you go doink, 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 because that's how it's going to be between the 3 cars for now. There's 4, but 3. We're not touching the 73 for a while. That takes mucho dinero to finish it, because I want to put a monster under the hood, and I'm not at that stage yet. I've got a little bit of work to do before we get to that. But and there's a passionate, emotional story that goes with that Mach, that 73 Mach. So I didn't want to show it too much in the other video. I think this is video 3, episode 3, because there'll be a time and place to tell that story. But that's one that knife cuts deep. Okay, so enjoy the rest of this nonsense. Watch the crazy old fat man tear a car apart with a Milwaukee Sawzall. I don't need to tell you how many blades I went through. It's unbelievable. And I haven't salvaged as much as I wanted to. Anyway, I'll come back at the end just to say goodbye and fill you in on what's happening. Because exciting things are taking place. This is turning into a little bit of a snowball. And, going in the right direction. Anyway, enjoy. Well, it's a new day back at the farm, and I'm here to do a little more chopping. So we got to get this, the rest of this one chopped out of here, so that we can get that motor out and get it back to the house and start tearing it apart, see if it's salvageable. So I'm gonna go grab the tools that I need out of the shop and get at her. Okay, we've got the wheels off. I just cut through the tie rod end lengths and tried to keep some of the stuff intact, but the stuff I know I'm not using, I got rid of. So I'm gonna set the phone up. Gonna give her a yank and see if she comes out. The front cross member is still attached to the motor mounts, but it's cut away from the frame, so it should just rip right out. So we'll see how much fun this is. Okay, shin brake free. We're getting there though. All right, so I'm gonna surrender for today. I put a couple hours in after work tonight, so yeah. So we're getting there. We've exposed everything we need to expose, and we broke the shock or the engine mount on this side. So I think we just need to snap the engine mount on the other side, and she should come flying out. Oh, look at a little frog in there. Hey, little guy. Hey. Somebody uproot your home? Hey? Okay. Well, paddock. I think I called it the farm earlier again. It'll always be known as the farm, I think. I'm gonna say paddock. Okay, I'm optimistic. I don't know if this is gonna be salvageable. It all depends on what it looks like when we get it apart, but I've seen worse and I was able to save it, so I got a funny feeling we might have a good core here, as long as it hasn't frozen. So I'm gonna sign off for now, and I don't know where you're gonna see me next, but we're gonna be busy all week. All right, so I'll keep you updated. All right, well, it's Wednesday night here in Orangeville, and so I thought I was on my way home from the farm, picked up a few pieces to take home and work on, and I thought, hey, it's cruise night. Let's go over and have a peek. So it'll give you an idea of the turnout we get here in Orangeville. It's only 6 o'clock, so I'm thinking we might be a few more stragglers coming in late. I see there's some people coming in now. There's always that one idiot, right, who like drives in, with his Ford Escape to I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, you get the idea. So I just thought I'll come by one night and do a deep dive, and look at that. There's a square body for you. So I'll come by one night before the end of the season and do a deep dive on a busy night. Anyway, I'm gonna log out for now. Just a little teaser. Okay, humidity levels are kind of peaking today, so it's hot in the garage. So I'm using my favorite workbench, which is the back of my F-150. I grabbed this from the farm tonight, and we're gonna strip it down, take it apart, start by taking the wheel off, and I've also got the lock for the trunk lid. And since I got the key, I'm gonna try and salvage this, save myself some money. Let me get at some of these bolts. Gotta get the tire off, and see where we're at. And always remember too, when you're taking something apart, if you know you're going to be buying new stuff like calipers, make sure, and rotors, make sure you keep at least one of the old ones, so that when you do pick up the new one, that it's the right one. Because depending on the year, there's different versions. I know the rear ends, I think when you're buying drums for the back, I think there's 11 different rear ends. I don't know how many different drums there are, but I got burned once before. So let me get at her, and I'll come back to you in a minute. All right, I got the caliper off, got the rotor off. Spindle looks just fine. Lots of grease. You can see in here the bearing looks okay. They weren't chewed up or falling apart. There's the There it is there. We're looking okay in here. So, like with many parts cars, even when they're parked in a field, enough grease will protect you on certain parts. So right now I'm pulling the dust cover bolts, 3 of them. See if I get those out. The dust cover may be salvageable, and if it is, that's a huge bonus. So let me see if I can get at these 3 bolts. I got them sprayed really good, so let's hope they come out. Okay, I got the first 2 out. So I just want to show you something. I haven't touched this one yet. I just put the wrench on it. Watch this. That's how easy it was. So always keep in mind that when you're salvaging a parts car, you'll always be surprised. There'll always be surprises that come at you. You never know when something's going to come off easy and a part's going to be salvageable. It's a bit of a crapshoot, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun because every time I salvage a part off of this, I'm saving money, and that's the way I look at it. So I've almost got the spindle off, so I gotta start cutting with the grinder. So let me get back to you once I get some more bolts out. All right, I was out here for an hour or 2 tonight, just getting at her. Anyway, I got the lower, I used the pickle fork to get the lower ball joint out. I just cut the nut off the one side. There was no point trying to turn it. And I got me a spindle. I still got the caliper bracket on, but I'll have a go at that tomorrow. I know it doesn't show right now because the camera makes up for the lack of light, but it is getting dark. And my beautiful wife, Sparkles, because that's what I call her, will be home from her 10-hour shift today soon. So I'm going to spend some quality time with her before I go to bed tonight. But to give you an idea, you just keep at her a little bit every night. Slow and steady wins the race, and hopefully we have as much success with the well, it looks pretty good. I don't see anything there that's a problem. So hopefully we have as much success with the other side as we've got with this side. So I'll probably have another go at the rest of this tomorrow night, get that done, and then I'll get the other side over here for the weekend. And then we start gathering parts up for the sandblaster. I have a small cabinet blaster in the garage here, so we'll get them blasted, and then it's off to the powder coaters. And that's something that you can do. You find a local powder coating shop, somebody that's doing big volumes, and you tape off the areas you don't want painted, take it down in a basket, talk to the guy, tell him next time he's running whatever color you're looking for, to throw those in, and they'll give you a sweet deal. My guy is really not expensive at all. So anyway, we'll get to that. Maybe I'll film that when I go down there. But for tonight, so far so good. We're getting there, and we're getting some parts. Let's just hope that dust cover survives the sandblaster. That's the big key. And then we've got our we got a lot more to do here, but we got our sway bar. Our steering linkage is still attached to the car, but I cut off the tie rod ends and the sway bar links. So we need to buy new ones of those, but I don't think it'll be long, and we'll have all our front end parts for not much money at all. Tomorrow I'm gonna see if I can find out about those calipers and rotors. And see if I can get those ordered. One step at a time. But I'd like to get that shell rolling so that I can work on it. And it's going to be a long process. It's not something that's happening quickly. So, but we got to start getting the parts together and get them ready to go back on so that when it is painted underneath, we can get it rolling. And we just do a little bit at a time. Make sure we keep a balance of work on the car and work on here. And, while we're doing this, we're going to be working on the 95 and we're going to get the 71 Marvin in the garage. So I'll leave this here for now and I'll pick it back up tomorrow. On our next episode, it's a beautiful day and I'm on my way to pick up an engine stand. I love what I do, I really do. That's my favorite part of what I do is the people you meet and the experiences you have. We're making memories. I told you, we're making memories. Well, after fighting with her, and I do mean fighting with her, I finally got her unbolted, so she's free. So I'm just gonna haul the truck forward now. Give me some room to back the truck in here, turn that sideways and get her on the truck. Here's little Mike Tyson. Hey little Mike, what are you doing? Say goodbye to everybody. Say thanks for watching. Thanks for watching my dad. Okay, say goodbye. Say hey. Bye.